Okay. Iris Yaniv, ברוכה הבאה, שלום. Welcome. We want to know, first of all, what is a secular rabbi? What
secular humanistic rabbi.
Humanistic rabbi. What does it mean?
It means that I'm a rabbi, I don't follow the commandments. That's what it means when I'm saying that I'm secular, that I don't follow the commandments. And I'm humanistic because the human being is in my center, not God. He doesn't believe that I necessarily, or me or other people don't believe in God. You can believe in God and be humanistic, of course. But I don't follow the commandments. So what does it mean that I'm not following the commandments? It doesn't mean that I steal or murder or whatever. But if I choose to do or not to do something, it's not because God said it, it's because I believe that it's valuable, that I share this perspective and I think it's important, it's moral, not because it is written in the Torah. This is not the way I choose what to do and what not to do. A lot of people ask me about why don't you do X? It is written in the Torah. So what? In the Torah, there are laws that are not humanistic at all. The status of women is not something that I want to follow. The way the Torah sometimes treat other nations is not something that I want to follow. There are things that I want to follow in the Torah. So the main thing is that I choose. I study. First of all, I study. Besides having a dissertation in Bible, this is my expertise, and I've been teaching and studying Judaism for more than 30 years. I study all the time. So first step for me is to study. And then I need to consider if the things that I'm studying about is valuable for me. Does it follow my ethics, my values? And then I choose and I follow or not follow what is written. So for me, the fact that something is written in the Torah is not enough for deciding if I do it or not.
So let me ask you, why rabbi? So if you say rabbi, it's like, it's like it's a model everybody knows.
Yeah.
So why rabbi?
First of all, because rabbi, the word rabbi means in Hebrew gadol, great. Someone that has a lot of knowledge. So until the end of the 19th century, women were not allowed to study. So there were no women that could be rabbi. But since we women started to study, there are a lot of women that are gdolot b'Torah, that know a lot about the Torah and the Jewish culture. There is no reason why a woman couldn't be a rabbi. This is about being a woman. It's very important for me. And about being a rabbi because I'm seeing myself as part of the Jewish culture. The Jewish culture is very important for me. I actually dedicate my life to it still. I'm a head of community without being paid. I'm actually a volunteer. So this is what I'm doing actually. Most of the time I'm teaching and studying Jewish culture. So I know a lot because I've been studying. I know a lot. I became a rabbi because someone trusted me because the word smicha in Hebrew means to trust someone. And also the ceremony or the service was just putting the hands of the rabbi, of the younger rabbi, and just kind of claiming that he knows. Used to be only he knows a lot, but he also is a man that could be trusted. So I think, I hope that I'm a person, I'm a woman that could be trusted. I'm also quite knowledgeable, so why not be a rabbi? And someone gave me this smicha, Tmura Institute in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. So just another thing. What about tradition? What about tradition?
It depends how do you define tradition. You were in our Kabbalah Shabbat. It was a humanistic Kabbalah Shabbat, the first one in Mexico ever. It was a history. So we keep tradition because we have Kabbalah Shabbat, first of all, because a lot of Jews here told me that they don't do anything in Kabbalah Shabbat if they don't go to any of the synagogues in Mexico. We had the candles, we light the candles. We had Kiddush. We had Dvar Torah, which is a commentary about the Parashat Shavua. We read the Parashat Shavua. We had Amotzi, about the lechem, the bread, the challah. So it was a Jewish service, you know. So for me, this is part of the tradition. Well, actually, I prefer the word heritage, the tradition. And it's very important for me, but I choose also when I do weddings in Israel. It's a Jewish wedding. We have chuppah, we have ketubah, we have rings, we have not only 7 blessings, but blessings. We have the glasses actually, because in my weddings always the 2 of them break the glasses.
Okay.
Yes, equality. We are humanistic, so equality must be, for me, it's a condition. And also I conduct weddings for the same sex couples, of course. So, but it is a Jewish ceremony, and so that's why it's part of the tradition for me.
In Israel, there are a lot of people that want to be part of this congregation?
We are 42 rabbis, secular humanistic rabbis in Israel, men and women, and there are about 30 communities, I think, in Israel, small one, because Israelis, they don't go to, if they are not religious, they don't go to any synagogue, but usually they don't do anything. They just being Jewish because they are part of a Jewish state. In my community, on the list, there are about more than 100 people. To our Kabbalah Shabbat and activities, about 30 people come. It's not much, but it's nice according to what I'm hearing from other colleagues that have secular or humanistic communities in Israel. It's not. It's enough. Of course, I'd like it to be more.
And the last question.
One question. It's not something contradiction to say you are having Kabbalah Shabbat, having weddings with a kippah, breaking 2 glasses. They are like meanings of religion. And having a temple, or a synagogue, or a shul, or a knis, wherever you are going. It's not like contradiction about talking about secular and these symbols of religion, because these are symbols of religion. You don't need a synagogue. You could do it in any room. You don't have to call it a synagogue, or you don't have to call it use it a kippah. It's not why to use these symbols in the secular.
Okay, first of all, I didn't say that I'm using a kippah. I don't use a kippah.
All right.
And I didn't mention the term synagogue also. We are hiring a place where we could do our services. It's not a synagogue.
Right.
But what does it mean, a synagogue? Again, in Hebrew, Beit Knesset is a place where people get together. Right. So this is kind of a synagogue, because it's a place that we are gathering together and do our services. And the other thing, for me, Judaism is a culture.
That's what I don't get.
That only part of it is a religion, but not all of it. And I'm not an anti-religion, and I'm not anti-religious person, but for me it's only part of my culture. My culture, especially as Israeli, we have a very rich Hebrew culture in Israel, and it is still going on. I don't know if you have heard about Ilan Ajzen, for example. He is a very famous musician. He writes songs, and he also kind of talks through his songs with the Bible. For me, it's part of the Jewish tradition. For me, it's part of the Jewish text, and we are using them. Also, Yehuda Amichai, Leah Goldberg, I don't know if you know those names. Yeah, sure. So for me, the Jewish culture is not only religious culture. It's much more than this. And I'm also a Zionist. I speak Hebrew. I was born and raised in Israel. I hope I will stay.
What's happened with the people who were born in Israel that are not Zionists and don't believe in any religion, in God? Are they can be also humanist Jews, or can be Jews because they don't read Hebrew, they don't read Hebrew literature? What's happened with these people?
Okay, this connect to the question, what does it mean to be Jewish? So I would say, according to Avraham Infeld, which is he was born in South Africa, and he claimed 5 principles of being a Jew, not according to the importance. The Bible is the basic of our culture.
The Bible is a religious book also.
You can read the Bible as a religious and also as a literature. Right. I read it as a literature. I'm a scholar of the Bible. The Hebrew is the language of our peoplehood, I would say. This is the term that we are using now. The connection to the land of Israel. The land of Israel, not necessarily the state of Israel, but the land of Israel. The Jewish calendar, which we all share, and the common history, and a sense of responsibility, I don't know how to say it the connection between Jewish people all over the world, the feeling of responsibility. This is what makes us Jewish, part of the Jewish peoplehood. You don't have to believe in God, you don't have to follow the commandments. Both my parents were Holocaust survivors. Hitler never asked them, if they believe in God or if they follow the commandments. Those are not the things that define someone as Jewish, according to my point of view, of course. You can argue about it.
What's important to being Jew here in Mexico and having a Kabbalat Shabbat, a secular Kabbalat Shabbat? What's the importance of a humanistic Kabbalat Shabbat? What's the important? We have Andy also here that has come many times, and Sarov, and what's the importance of here in Mexico?
What do people really look for? This is
exactly.
It's very important because we had 70 people in Friday in this Kabbalat Shabbat, 70 people from this community. So what they are looking for?
Well, I was here in Mexico last year, and the way I thought about it, that a lot of people in the Jewish community, they feel connection to the Jewish culture. They want to be Jewish. They want their children to be Jewish. And they don't find themselves in any of the communities, the Orthodox communities, whatever. And even if in the conservative community. And they have no alternative. And as far as I could tell, and I spoke with some people, they just don't do anything on Friday, for example. And if you live in the diaspora and you do nothing on Friday, you just don't feel that it's Friday.
Right.
It's like any other day. So I think it could mean something for you, for everybody, especially when you live in the diaspora, to have a way to celebrate, I would say celebrate your Judaism without feeling guilty and without being forced to do something that you don't want to do. Just do what you think is right for you, and it is still Judaism. It still is Jewish. And I hope that they will follow this way. It's up to you, because it was my idea, and I just do it voluntarily, all of us. And I hope that you will follow it, and you will have some kind of, meetings that will do Kabbalat Shabbat. And for you, this is a reason.
So
I worked for 1 month on this Kabbalat Shabbat.
We really appreciate it. It was very interesting. You're a great teacher for Bible. I know this. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.